Okay.
Okay, I'm back from the intermission. Uh, Stanislaw felt no alternative but to leave the mission in open rebellion, and he left the mission in 1828 with 400 of the mission Indian inhabitants. The mission did not think this was very nice, so they chased him. The mission soldiers chased him. They chased him into the area now, which is known as the city of Modesto, which borders on the Stanislaw River. It was not called the Stanislaw River at that time. Uh, he had several open fights with the mission soldiers, and because of his knowledge of Spanish military tactics that he gained as the alcalde, also his knowledge in Indian of the wisdom of the fox, he was able to defeat the mission soldiers, not once but several times in open fight. Uh, and the missions continued. They gained additional soldiers from the mission Yerba Buena. Today, we no longer know where Yerba Buena is, but that is now San Francisco. Uh, the soldiers never did defeat Stanislaw. They chased him up the river that later became referred to as the Stanislaw River. This river enters country where there are lots of natural caverns. The caverns were just a fantastic way of evading soldiers because they could seek refuge in the cavern. Narrow passages. 3 or 4 Indians could fend off an army. The soldiers then would lay siege outside, saying, well, he's got to come out sometime. But with the caverns, they could come out over here or they could come out over there, and they never did defeat him. What ultimately defeated, incidentally, other missions joined in this rebellion, and it was estimated that maybe there were 15,000 Indians from a variety and sorts of missions that entered into this open rebellion. The Stanislaw River ultimately went into today National Forest, which again was given the name of Stanislaw. So Stanislaw was his feats were responsible for the naming of Stanislaw County, the Stanislaw River, and the Stanislaw National Forest, as well as the county that we're in, Tuolumne County. I enjoy asking local people, what does Tuolumne mean? And some of them say, well, it's a local Miwok Indian word for the rushing river, which the Tuolumne River is a rushing river. But that in itself was not the cause of the naming of this county. The Spanish or mission soldiers, knowing the Tuolumne, the area of the Tuolumne, and the fact that the Indians sought refuge in the caves, they referred to this as the county, the greater geographic area, as the Tuolumne. And as the Tuolumne to them, it meant literally the area of stony house dwellers. I have fun asking local people that say, yeah, I think it means stony house dweller. And I said, have you seen any of these stony houses? No. But the stony houses refer to the caves and the caverns that the Indians sought refuge in. Now, to flash forward some 90 years later, in 1919, a popular fiction pulp writer by the name of Johnston Macaulay learned of the legends or the stories of the feats of Stanislaw, and he took that and took literary privilege and created a fictional character known as Zorro. And many recognize that the fictional Zorro may have also been heavily influenced by the Hispanic bandit, Joaquin Murrieta. Now, it is my opinion that Johnson McCulley, with his literary freedom, thought it was much better to create a hero of Spanish descent rather than Indian descent, because greater appeal than a common Indian. Also, rather than a common Indian in Central California, much better to have him reside in Southern California. But historians recognize that the underlying influence was our local chief, Stanislaw. And so that is the story of Stanislaw.
Excellent, Mr. Bell.
That
I know it. I didn't even give you any kind of let you know this.